Hello and welcome to Connection to Excellence, where I decided to interview some very successful people who reached already a level of success. And first of all, let me explain a little bit why I'm doing that. Because I would like to support you that you see also very successful people are struggling, have problems and whatever, and they have to overcome them to reach their next goal. And I like to show you that you can learn from them, to listen to their stories, that you can learn and that you also can make it. And for everybody who doesn't know me, my name is Kornelia Müller. I'm a leadership and high performance coach. And today in my show, I have two very nice ladies. They are transformer of the O&O Academy, is based in India, and they teach a very powerful 2-day spiritual workshop, and they will come to Munich. And that is a reason that I'm really excited to have them here in my show, that they can explain a little bit from this course, what they are doing. And so I really would say welcome Elisabeth and welcome Niki to my show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I forgot to tell you the names. So it's Niki Kapoor. She's coming from the States and she's sometimes also based in Bali. Right now, it looks like she is based in Bali. And Elisabeth Streck, she's coming from Germany. So first of all, I would like to ask you both why you are doing what you are doing right now. Because, for example, Niki, from you, I know you're also a business owner and you have a global natural skincare. So why did you come to this idea to do this stuff?
Thank you, Connie, for having us here and for the interview and giving us a chance to share what we're doing. I have a business in US, a very successful global business, and several years ago I realized I had everything one can ask for. Success in every way, material success, fame, name, respect, everything. But I knew I wasn't happy. I could feel something was missing within. And none of the material things were able to fulfill that. No relationship, no level of recognition, nothing. So I started to go inward and started a spiritual journey. And that journey led me to O&O Academy, where I actually discovered profound levels of inner freedom and higher levels of consciousness that have allowed me to experience life from a very expanded state, relate to people, my work, everything from a very beautiful state, creating a very magical life. So when going through this journey, I had a very beautiful shift, and in that shift I came to a knowing that I have to share this. I have to teach what I have been given, because to live in the state that I do is a blessing, and everyone can have it. So that's the real purpose of teaching now, is to support everyone's journey to getting to this level of fulfillment.
Thank you. And how is it about you, Elisabeth?
Yes, it's very interesting to hear what Niki said. And with me, it's like this. I used to be a teacher in school for many, many years. And I liked it. At the same time, I was always seeking in myself. I wanted more. I really wanted to fulfill myself more. And I didn't find it anywhere. So I went to workshops and to seminars, and it got all better, but I fell back to the same old habits and the same old feelings inside. And I was very stressed. In school, you can imagine, there are so many responsibilities and all this, and I took it also seriously. So I was really stressed out. And so I was seeking, and one day I landed in the O&O Academy. And there I found really release, and I found help and support. And so I went on this path, and there I got to know many other people. And so we went on the path ourselves. And so I started last year. That was the first time they were teaching the Transformers course. And having been a teacher all my life, I left school already doing different work. I started coaching and giving seminars. But then last year, when I came to O&O again for the Transformer course, there I had the feeling, now I'm really arriving at the point what I really want to teach, what I really want to give people, because it helped me so much. And that is the reason why I'm doing it, and to really do my part to support people who also want to get out of this stressful state. Thank you.
And maybe we can go a little bit deeper in the topic. So what's a beautiful state, and what's important to have this beautiful state? So maybe you both can say something to that.
Sure. Elisabeth.
Okay, yeah, I can start. Before I went to O&O, I had never heard that it is so important from what state, from what inner state we do our work, we have relationships, we do our money thing, whatever. I had no idea. I mean, sometimes I felt good, and other times I was not such a good state. And then there I learned there are only two states. You have a suffering state or a stressful state, and this state I knew very well, and also a beautiful state. And I found out what the power of this beautiful state is. Beautiful state is just that I'm in peace, that I'm calm, that I can be silent, that I'm connected to people, that I'm connected to my inner self. So this is such a difference to live out of this. And I can see now quickly, in what state am I? Am I in a suffering state, in a stressful state, or I'm in a good inner state? And the moment I started to find that out, I noticed I would like to be in a good state all the time, because life is so different. I attract different things. I meet different people. Life, there are synchronicities. There are even miracles more and more. So that's why I'm really want to live in that state, and a little bit I'm already getting addicted to it. So I give a rule: how long do I dare, or how long can I be in a bad state? And I want to make it shorter and shorter to come out.
Great. Niki?
So, like Elisabeth said, there are two states of being: stressful state or suffering states, and beautiful state. And we create a life from one or the other state at any given time. So if we are in a stressful state, we are making decisions from that state. We are creating relationships from that state. And they're taking us further and further into stressful experiences. It never ends, as we can see, right? The beautiful state, when we make choices from a beautiful state, when we create relationships from a beautiful state, they create more beautiful experiences. They create better outcomes, because a beautiful state, which is joy, love, peace, harmony, etc., is inclusive. It includes not just me, it includes we. It is connected. And the outcomes that come from, a beautiful state, like normal experiences, big results, decisions, outcomes, they're very expanded, and they create more joy, not just for ourselves, but for others also. Our success level is higher, our fulfillment level is higher for your audience who are, motivated to achieve success and leadership. From a beautiful state, it is easier to accomplish it, and life becomes effortless when you're in a beautiful state. So it is a very practical thing to choose a beautiful state over a stressful state, right? And it's efficient, it's productive. Mm-hmm. So, that's what we're trying to show everyone, is importance of state of being, and also the importance of the beautiful state, and why in every moment of our life it is important to choose a beautiful state, and we show them how to do it in the course.
So You explained me already. The next question would be, what is the improve for my life when I come to this course? So you explain, is there something else what I get in this course when I decided to come to this course?
Yes, you get a lot, because we are awakening the participants to the beautiful state consciousness of harmony. Harmony with self, harmony in relationships, and harmony at work. So it's not just moving out of stressful states into a beautiful state, it is also awakening to a much higher level of consciousness in each of these areas. So this is, these are imprints in your consciousness that happen, right? And you can be in a beautiful state, but how about being in a really high level of a beautiful state? Isn't that a better option?
Yeah.
So we are sharing wisdom that helps people understand what are the possibilities for them in terms of relationship to themselves, in terms of relationship to others, in terms of relationship at work, and then the consciousness that can create miracles and magic in their life in each of these areas. So they get a lot. They get a lot more than just dissolving stressful states and moving into a beautiful state.
Oh, super. Thank you. Would you like to add something, Elisabeth?
There's not much to add, but maybe I can say the first level is really that we are in a beautiful state, that we are not stressed anymore, or much less stressed. But there's another level, the transcendental state, and even it goes even further, as Niki already said, so that we are in an expanded state much more often, that we are, and there from an expanded state, we can really connect totally different with people. We can really connect. And out of this connection, we have totally different relationships. We can feel people then, and people feel heard and feel that we listen to them, and they can open up and they can feel also themselves better. So it has really a big effect on ourselves, as Niki said, and also on the person who is in front of me. And this makes it so wonderful. And then, as Niki also said, the synchronicities in our lives, they get much more, because we can only attract good things. I did not know that before. I thought before that out of stress I can, because then I'm motivated, I can do a lot. But now I found out from a good inner state, from a beautiful state, from a expanded state and connected state, I can create much better things and can attract better things. I can only, in fact, attract good things out of a good state. And that's why it is so attractive to be in a good state also. So that's very important for me.
So it sounds really great, and I really agree with that stuff, And so, we speak always about transformation. So what means really transformation, and why is transformation really important?
So our own journey, our connection to our state of being, as Elisabeth had said, it's very, very important for us to be aware of our state of being, because if we don't have that connection with ourselves, if we are not taking care of our own inner world, we are not able to show up in a way that is of any value to others. We are operating from insecurity, fear, and things like that. If we are not connected to ourselves, when we are connected to ourselves, when we are present to ourselves, our relationship to our own being becomes very healthy and whole. And when we are healthy and whole, our insecurity level is very low, our stress level is less, our ability to relate and be present to others is higher, there is more clarity in us. So transformation is basically, really transforming our struggles by taking responsibility for our inner world, by seeing what's happening in ourselves before pointing our finger at someone else or situations outside. And as we do that, it's very empowering. It creates more self-confidence, more self-worth. It creates more personal power. And, so transformation, basically, the one we are talking about really is about transforming our inner world, our state of being. And then from that, creating everything else, from that level of connection with ourselves. So why it's important? Because, we can look for happiness outside and it's not lasting. Nothing outside lasts because everything changes. Right? It's a shaky ground when we seek for something outside us. But when we discover happiness inside us, that doesn't need anything. That is just there no matter what. When we build our relationship of stability in our own being, then outside situations don't shake us.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a beautiful way to live. Like, you can then respond to life. Things happen, you respond intelligently, and instead of reacting and getting impacted and feeling helpless and stressed. And so it's important because it improves your quality of life.
Thank you. Elisabeth, would you like to add something?
It's not only that we respond to people, this is such a nice word, we don't have this word in German, that we respond, but also the universe, the surrounding responds to us and responds in the way as we are, what we radiate into the world. And it responds, the people respond to us, the universe responds, everything responds to us. And then we see, our world, how we live and what we get in life has to do with me. I mean, it takes some time to find that out. And that outside is a mirror. I always knew it's a mirror of my inside, but I often did not know how can I change it. But now I know I can see my inner state, and especially see my inner truth. Only when I see my inner truth, what's going on in me, then I can do something about it. With the help of all my inner world and the universe and the source, whatever we call it, but then we get the help. And the universe and the divine and the source can can better help us and respond when we are in a good state, and when we are transformed, when we have overcome many of these, let's say, lower feelings or whatever, and then it's easy for the universe to respond, and we get much easier the things we want. So that's why it's so important to see our inner truth and to see what's in me, and then look outside. It's not the other person outside. That's also what we learn. It's me creating it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we don't want to hear it, because if I create something which is not so nice outside, I often said to myself, I can't be that stupid and create these things, but I created it. So now I have tools that I can change that. And I think I will need them still for a long time, or my whole life. But it's such a help and such a transformation when we have these things.
Right. So, many people start already meditate every day, or also they know what they want. So why should they really spend money and also the time to come to this 2-day course?
That's a great question, Connie. A lot of my friends, my teachers even have done this course, because every time I, went to an academy, came back, the transformation was so profound. I was living the teachings that became a part of my being and my life, and the miracles that were pouring in, synchronicities that were pouring in, were unbelievable. That a lot of my friends and my teachers even at one time were not experiencing. And these were very, very conscious, awake people who had been on this journey twice as long as me. So the reason to come to this course, if in 2 days you can improve your relationships and discover connection, real connection with people you love, if in 2 days you can find harmony with yourself, the parts that you kind of disconnected with, you can come back and connect with those parts. If in 2 days you can find joy and love and passion for your work, for your career, and change your consciousness around your work, and start to understand contribution you're making to this world, wouldn't it be worth spending 2 days and the money? Because the benefit surpasses the investment. So it's an intelligent decision, and to awaken to a beautiful state that is going to make your life better is wisdom.
Yeah.
Great.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Would you like to add something,
Yeah,
Elisabeth?
that's what I wanted to say, what I wanted to add. You said everything, Niki, wonderfully. It's meditation is very important. We also meditate. We need meditation to get still and to see what's going on in us. We can't see that when we are rushing around. Then I don't know how my inner state is. So I need meditation to come to these points and to open up and to expand. But to overcome problems or things which I want to change, I need wisdom. I need liberative wisdom. I need wisdom which helps me to see what is behind this. And this wisdom, then I can apply. And I have to apply the wisdom. And that's what gives the next step in it. And also we have the meditation and the wisdom, and we also have processes. We go and look where the origin is when we want to solve something. In our relationships, we always have to look and see, and we go where we are led, let me say like this, we are guided and led to the points and to the deeper level where it started. And there it can be, and it always gets resolved. And then things change. And then it is a transformation which is lasting. That's why we have these different points.
Thank you. I would love to add to that, if that's okay, Connie.
Yeah, of course.
Elisabeth explained it beautifully, that we actually have processes that create shifts in the consciousness. They create new imprints. They dissolve stressful or suffering states in those areas of our life and convert them into a beautiful state. Yeah. So that's very powerful, that you actually take a transformed consciousness home, and the wisdom then works as a torchlight, right? So when suddenly a stressful state will arise in you, you will not be able to ignore it anymore. Yeah. You will be able to catch it, and you'll know what to do with it, and then your chance of actually having happiness in your life is much higher. And to be able to get out of problems, challenges, and stresses is much higher. So that's, a really important piece for people to understand, that there's actual transformation taking place in consciousness during this course. So thank you, Elisabeth, for bringing that up. That was actually a really good point.
Thank you. So one last question, maybe. So what is the difference from this course, for example, to Cherokee, what people makes, or so self-help experience? What is the difference between that?
So the Beautiful State workshop, we work with consciousness. That's the biggest difference. We work with wisdom, and this enables people to do the transformation. We provide the space, we provide the energy, the frequency, we provide the wisdom. We hold space for processes, but people themselves are able to go in, participate in the process, and create transformation themselves. It's highly empowering. Very empowering. And we work with consciousness, like very fast and quick consciousness transformation. So this is not at all therapy. People take an inner journey. They themselves solve their own problems. We provide the container for it.
Great.
Nicely
Do you
said.
have something to add,
Yes,
Elisabeth?
nicely said. It's really that people are empowered to look at themselves, to see it. When I started, I didn't see what's going on first. And we learn in these 2 days already, we make at least a start with it, that we know how to look inside and see where we stand and see what's going on, and then have the tools. What we all said already, we have the tools to work on it, to do something. And the consciousness and the space which is held for the people, that's very important. That's very important. So the people have like a sacred space, I want to say it like this, where they can really let go and can really transform and dive in very deep. They can dive in as deep as they want. Everybody can dive as deep as the person wants, but most people want to dive deep and really use the time. So they have all the possibilities then.
Thank you so much.
The space is very held. We hold space for them. They are priority.
Yes.
The people come first. Their well-being comes first for us. Their transformation is the reason why we're doing this. So the space is held and they're fully supported. And there is nothing they have to really worry about. And people feel that in these courses. They feel like family. That's the beautiful part about it, is that everyone becomes family. It's a very safe environment. So yeah.
It sounds really very beautiful, and I'm really excited and can't wait that when you come here. First of all, I would like to explain a little bit, because in first case, Niki will make the course. She will be the teacher, and Elisabeth will be the translator, because it's happened here in Munich, and maybe German-speaking people like to come. So Elisabeth will take over the translation, and Niki will first line she will teach. And so I get you to know in India and at the OO Academy at the Enlightenment Festival, and I know you are really a special person, and I'm really happy that you come here, and that also Elisabeth will come to Munich and support us in that course, and I can't wait till you are here. Is there maybe just a last recommend what you both can do for the people who are watching that right now?
So I would love to actually share an example of how this state works, if that's okay. Is that good?
Yeah, that's okay.
So recently I had an experience where I had to go to a government office, and they, people in the government office were very strict, and about the documentation, and they were sending people back for the smallest thing. So I went in, and my documents were not correct according to their checklist. And the woman said, "You have to come back 4 days later. Bring this back." And I looked at her. I said, "Listen, it'll take 2 minutes for me to fix it. Can you help me?" And she said no. So as she was talking, I was just very present and still with her. There was no stress, no suffering, and I connected. I was feeling her, as present to her state of being, and I saw that she was stressed, that she was actually not happy, and it had nothing to do with me, her behavior at all. So just becoming present with her, a very natural compassion was also present, connecting to her state of being. I said nothing, I forced her for nothing. And just as I was doing this, I was just becoming present and feeling her. This compassion was arising. She looked at me, and she actually decided to fix my application herself. Told me to sit down and wait. Took care of everything. Printed everything out. And that's it. And whereas there were people sitting outside and in the room who had to come back 2 or 3 times with the exact same situation. So your state of being and the power of connection is so strong because we are one, we're all connected, that we feel each other, you know? So your state really creates your reality and your life's experiences. And when I left, I looked at her and there was a moment of such deep connection between us, and she smiled. You know, it was a very powerful experience for her and for me. Nothing was spoken, but everything was done and said. So it was really beautiful. And that's just how that is how life is every day, every moment, every experience, because of nurturing a beautiful state. So we highly, highly, highly encourage people to come because we live this, you know, we live this. We know it benefits, power, the love that can flow through you, the joy that you can experience for no reason at all, the access you will gain to a better way of life. We so lovingly invite you to please come join us and allow us to support you in your transformation. Thank you.
So, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Niki.
I wanted to stress that it's really, don't listen to your mind if he has excuses and says, oh, I don't need it, I've done so many seminars. That's what sometimes our mind tells us. Please don't listen. It's the mind, he knows, or it knows. In this course, it goes deep, and there's no going back. And the mind often gets a little bit afraid. And so he tells you maybe, and so on, don't go, but don't listen. You will not regret it. I can just tell you. Life is really wonderful. I went on the plane in a good state, in a wonderful state when I came back. And I looked at in the plane, I looked at a big bunch of red roses. And the steward looked at me and said, oh, wonderful. And he took out one of these red roses and gave it to me. I mean, that was not a usual thing, out of this bunch. And it went on like this, the whole flight. I got 5 sweets instead of 1 sweet. So, I mean, what's going on? I get how it works, you will notice straight away. And I notice straight away when I'm not in a good state, I get it straight back, and I also get it back straight away when I'm in a good state. So come, please. You will be happy. You will be happy that you came.
I will be there.
Yes.
Yes.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
I thank you both so much, Elisabeth and Niki. Thank you for being in my show, that you took the time. I know you have a lot to do, and that you really took the time to spend the time with us. And I hope also for you who looked at it and watched this show, that it was really a contribution for you. And maybe we see us at the Beautiful State course here in Munich. I will put underneath the link where you also can sign up, or you can ask questions, whatever. I can also put, if you have a website, Elisabeth, I don't know, but you have a website, I guess, Niki. And if you have all this stuff, you can give it to me. I will point it underneath so the people can contact you. Also, you, Elisabeth, I know you also make Beautiful State in several areas here in Germany. So German people can also connect you. That when they don't have time to come to Munich, so maybe to another place, because we really would love connecting people together.
Yes.
So thank you again for this interview, and I wish you all the best. All the best.
Thank you so much, Connie, for having us here. We're very grateful. Yes. And thank you, Elisabeth. It was so much fun being on an interview with you.
Same with you, Connie. Thank you so much for your wonderful questions and your wonderful, beautiful state. And Niki, thank you so much. We have gone such a long way together, and it's even getting better, I think. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and all my love to you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Lots of love. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.